Beneath the surface of an African river, a hidden world comes alive. Sunlight filters down through the murky water, casting shifting patterns across the riverbed. This is the domain of one of the oldest and most efficient predators on Earth, the Nile crocodile. Submerged and almost invisible, crocodiles drift through their underwater kingdom with barely a movement. Their bodies, built for stealth, glide silently past reeds and stones, every sense tuned to the smallest disturbance in the water around them. Above the surface, the world continues, unaware of what lies just beneath. Along the water's edge, a heron moves carefully through the shallows, stepping lightly across the wet mud in search of food. It pauses, lifts into the air, circles briefly, then lands again nearby, continuing its search with quick, deliberate movements, completely unaware of the danger drifting just below the surface. A crocodile has been watching. Barely a ripple betrays its presence as it edges closer, matching the bird's movements, waiting for the exact moment to strike. The heron shifts its weight, steps forward once more, and in that instant, the crocodile explodes from the water. The strike is fast and final. In a single, powerful motion, the crocodile seizes the heron before it can react, pulling it beneath the surface. The struggle is brief. Within seconds, the river returns to stillness, the only sign of what happened, a few scattered ripples fading across the water. This kind of ambush lies at the heart of how crocodiles survive. They rarely chase prey over long distances. Instead, they rely on patience, stillness, and precise timing, conserving their energy until the perfect moment presents itself. Elsewhere along the river, crocodiles continue their slow, unhurried patrols through familiar waters. They move with the same quiet confidence they always carry, following paths worn into their territory over countless generations, watching, waiting, always aware of what moves around them. As the sun climbs higher, a large herd of buffalo begins to appear along the riverbank in the distance, drawn by the promise of water. Their numbers offer a sense of safety, a natural defense against predators that might otherwise pick off a single, isolated animal. Slowly, cautiously, the herd approaches the water's edge. One by one, the buffalo begin to cross, their heavy bodies pushing through the current as they make their way toward the far bank. This is a moment of vulnerability. A narrow window where the safety of numbers matters less than the strength of the current and the dangers hidden beneath it. Crocodiles have already positioned themselves, submerged and motionless, watching the herd's slow progress across the river. They do not react to the first animals that cross safely. Patience remains their greatest weapon as they wait, tracking the herd for a single moment of opportunity. That moment arrives without warning. A crocodile surges upward from beneath the water, driving its powerful jaws into the side of a buffalo caught mid-crossing. The reaction is immediate and violent. The buffalo bellows, thrashing against the sudden grip, fighting with everything it has for its life. The struggle that follows is intense and prolonged. The buffalo's strength is immense, easily capable of overpowering smaller predators, but the crocodile's grip does not weaken. Water churns violently around it as the battle continues, neither animal willing to surrender the fight. Other buffalo scatter toward the far bank, their instincts overriding any impulse to intervene. The crocodile uses its full strength, twisting and pulling, wearing down its opponent through raw power and unrelenting persistence. Slowly, gradually, the buffalo's resistance begins to weaken. Eventually, the struggle ends. The crocodile has secured a meal far larger than anything it faced earlier in the day, a testament to both its physical power and the patient strategy that made the successful ambush possible in the first place. The crocodile begins to feed, tearing into its hard-won meal in the shallow water near the bank. Crocodiles are opportunistic predators, capable of taking advantage of almost any meal the river provides. Beyond buffalo and herons, they are known to feed on warthogs caught near the water's edge, fish moving through the shallows, and even turtles unfortunate enough to cross their path. Few animals in this environment sit above them in the food chain, but this varied diet brings its own everyday difficulties. Torn flesh, bone fragments, and scraps of meat often become lodged between a crocodile's teeth after a meal, sometimes deep along the gum line where the crocodile itself cannot reach. Left untreated, these trapped scraps can lead to irritation or infection over time, a small but constant challenge for such a powerful predator. With its hunger finally satisfied, the crocodile begins a long period of rest. It drifts quietly along the surface of the river, barely moving, conserving energy after the intensity of the hunt. Other crocodiles nearby settle into similar stillness, floating motionless in the warm water as the sun continues its slow arc across the sky. Time passes calmly along the river. Crocodiles remain still, their bodies barely breaking the surface, fully at ease in an environment they have mastered over countless generations. This stillness is not weakness, it is efficiency. Predators conserving every ounce of energy until it is needed again. Eventually, a crocodile hauls itself onto a sunlit sandbank, settling into position as its jaws part slightly open. This is the moment its everyday difficulty finally finds a solution. A small, fearless bird approaches along the sand, unbothered by the massive predator resting nearby, drawn by the promise of an easy meal. The bird steps confidently onto the crocodile's lower jaw, moving carefully between its teeth, picking away the very scraps of food and debris the crocodile could never remove on its own. The crocodile remains completely still throughout the process, tolerating the bird's presence in exchange for a cleaner, healthier mouth. In return, the bird receives a steady, reliable meal it could find nowhere else, one of the river's most remarkable partnerships, born entirely out of necessity. As the afternoon fades into evening, the sky above the river begins to change, filling with warm shades of orange and gold as the sun lowers toward the horizon. The crocodile remains resting on the sandbank, its body glowing faintly in the fading light, calm after a day defined by both power and quiet cooperation. The river settles into stillness as night approaches. Crocodiles stay where they are, unmoving, content, another day of hunting, feeding, and resting finally coming to a close. Above the water, the sky darkens gradually, the last light fading slowly across the surface of the river, leaving only calm behind.